Alright, today I'm making a tier list on the best matchups for Magik and Marvel Rivals. I did place top 500 for Magik last season in 4.0, so I may not be the best to talk about this, but I do know what I'm doing. Let's start with Angela. Angela is not the worst, I'm gonna say, but she is annoying because she can grab you very easily whenever you're in front line and just kind of take you to the back. Any characters that have an ability to pull you are kind of terrible. But I'm going to say that Angela is not the worst right now just because she doesn't do a lot. Black Panther. Black Panther is... There's not a lot you can do about him, but normally Black Panther won't really mess with you particularly. Unless you guys are taking the same diving lines, so I'm going to say it's skill check. Blade is kind of the same way. Blade might be frontlining with you, like against you, and the lifesteal can be annoying, but as long as your healers are giving up, he shouldn't be too bad. I normally don't have a problem with Blade. I usually think Blade matchups are pretty easy, but that's part of just because Blade isn't that good. If Blade did more damage and his lifesteal was better, I think Blade would be much more into a skill check problem, just because he would survive better. Like, normally Magik can just DPS him down. Bucky, though. Bucky is basically a ban in all of my games. You have to ban Bucky. I can't stand this guy. He can hook you and pull you into a 1v6. He can hit you with the punch and make it so you can't move at all. That's always terrible. Because they buffed him, so now it stops movement abilities. The ball that he throws out now slows you, so you can't get away as easily when you're brawling. He is just all around a horrible character to go up against. You probably should swap if you're playing against Bucky. Captain America. Captain America also probably won't mess with you much, just depending on how you're playing. So I don't really see any problems with this guy. I haven't had any problem, like... Yeah, I don't have any problem with Captain America. He's fine. Daredevil? Daredevil's still pretty new, so I haven't gone up against a lot of good Daredevils yet. But from what I've seen, Daredevil is dive. He's a very, very, very good dive character. I think Daredevil is an easy S tier hero this season, but I don't know. I'm gonna say it's skill check for now. It's similar to like BP. He takes the same dive patterns as you. You kind of just have to beat him in the 1v1 for that. It all just depends on that. Emma Frost. Emma Frost has the exact same problem as Bucky, except no exceptions. She's just as horrible. She never dies. She does a lot of damage, and her grab basically means you die. If you get grabbed by Emma Frost, that's it. You're out. You just set down the controller. You take your hands off the keyboard. You lose there. Emma Frost is an easy ban. Mr. Fantastic. He is not really that bad to go up against, mainly because he's just not that good. I don't think that Mr. Fantastic is a good character at all. I think he's very similar to Blade in that aspect, where if he got some buffs and he was actually a like viable character, he'd be a decent thing to go up against. But right now, like, he hits like a wet sponge. Like, his only thing is that he just never dies, and that's not really that useful, because since he doesn't do a lot of damage, I'll just kill his healers first, and then he does die, and it's just not a problem at all. His Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman, her push can be annoying, but I don't really see that much problem with. There's worse healers. Like, I don't see a problem with Invisible Woman. Her ult's not that good. You can DPS her down in her ult with Magic ult, so if she tries to counter ult you, you can just kill her through it. I don't usually have a problem with Invisible Woman. But she can be annoying with the push, so I'm gonna leave her there. Iron Man. Iron Man is a flyer. He gets a lot of splash damage, so you can't really brawl. His ult probably won't be after you, so you don't have to worry about that, but you can portal through his ult. His ult's not that bad. I'm going to say Iron Man is just not... he might be a skill check, but Iron Man's splash damage for when you're brawling can be annoying. I'm gonna put him in not that bad just because, like, if the Iron Man's skyboxing, especially if they have like an Ultron or something, you probably won't be able to deal with this guy, and he's gonna get a lot of free damage on you. As long as he's uncontested, the Iron Man will get tons of free damage. Jeff is extremely simple. He might be the easiest of all the easy matchups, just because he's so easy to kill. You hit him with a fully charged slash, and then you primary attack him, then you dash him, and then you primary attack him again, and that's it. He's dead. If you see Jeff on the enemy team, you just target him every time. You dive him every time. And his ult, you can portal through. If you didn't know that you can time the portal super easily right after you hear the bell dings. You can portal through it, and then you place a demon on the center, and then you just melee him until he dies, and you'll get your entire team out of it. Jeff ult, I think, is really, really terrible. Even with the buff of healing his team now, it really doesn't heal that much. Like, it heals less than a Mantis ult. You can DPS through it so easily. I don't think Jeff is that good of a character at all, and that's part of why he's such a bad matchup, but for Magik especially, he's super good. Luna Snow. Luna Snow's ult is really good for countering Magik's ult, so it can kind of be annoying. You basically have to wait for Luna Snow's ult to go away, like for her to use it and for it to go away. Because she gets those overshields, you can't just one-shot her the second she pops it, which is kind of annoying. And the freeze is extremely annoying. So Luna is easy to dive if she doesn't know you're there. If you get the surprise attack on Luna, which you should be doing, then you should get her pretty easy. But if you mess it up, which I do quite a bit, then she'll just freeze you, and that's it. You die. You can't get out of that. Moon Knight is another one I'm going to have to go with pretty annoying, I think. Moon Knight's pretty annoying just because, especially on defense, you don't want to be diving as much. You want to be brawling a lot more up there with your tanks. But if they're running Moon Knight, then Moon Knight is just constantly going to be bouncing damage off your tanks, and you basically are forced to dive. So Moon Knight, while you're playing on defense, is really annoying because it basically forces you to dive. Otherwise, the Moon Knight is just going to kill you every single time, bouncing the crescent darts off of your tanks. So he's pretty terrible. Mantis, I think Mantis is going to be the same as Luna Snow, just because the sleep and the freeze are pretty much the same thing, and her ult also gives her those overshields, so you can't just one-shot her through it. Now you can DPS Mantis down in her ult if your team is working together, but I don't know. I don't think Mantis is that good, but the sleep's annoying for dive, and Magik does not have a lot of survivability unless she's actively hitting something. So Mantis is kind of annoying. Magik is, of course, going to be a skill check. If you're ever going up in a 1v1 against another of your character, it's always a skill check, no matter what character you're playing on, in my opinion. Just don't get diffed on your main. That's all I gotta say. Magneto, I don't think Magneto's a problem. Mainly because, like, his bubble can be annoying, because he can bubble his healers, he can bubble himself, and that counteracts your dash. But you can hit through Magneto's shield, and that's how it's going to be for a lot of the shield tanks. Is that other than Emma doesn't count. Emma doesn't count. But for a lot of the shield tanks, you can actually just melee attacks go through shields. So shield tanks aren't really a problem for Magik. Psylocke, you probably won't be messing with that much unless you're taking the dive lines like other characters like BP and Daredevil and such. So you just have to win the 1v1. That's a skill check. Punisher, Punisher's difficult. Punisher, I think, might be a swap character, because his turret gets so much value just being poured into the tanks, and the turret actually does splash damage for some reason. I'm not sure why that's a thing, but it does splash damage. So he's just gonna DPS you down in the front line, and if you ever pop your ult, you have to stay away from this guy, because he will just melt you in your ult. because of how slow you are in your ult, you don't have as much control over things. Like if you go portal in the left click, you're standing still for a very long time, and he can switch to his shotgun and hit you once in the head, and that's it, you die. So you can stay out of this guy's way, but you're probably still gonna come across him a lot, and it's really frustrating. Rocket's kind of annoying. I don't know. Rocket might be a swap. Rocket's kind of annoying. I don't think Rocket's as annoying as those swap characters, but the fact that he is so tiny, it's very hard to hit the dash on him, especially. And he also just has so much mobility. He can climb up walls and spin around like a little cockroach. It's horrid. And his dashes make it so that you can get height, and you don't want to be playing up and down height on Magik, because your only move to go up and down is your dash, which you really want to be using to get combos. So he can also heal himself, so it's kind of annoying if you don't have like a one-shot combo a bit available in your util at the moment. So Rocket's pretty annoying. Adam. I think Adam is another free elo. Not as much like Jeff where you counter him really easily, because the soul bond, if timed good, is basically like another ult. It is really annoying. I think Adam is just not a good character. Especially if Adam ults, you just pop Darkchild into that, and you hit everybody in that small little area, and you get like a 4 kill off of it. Super easy. Yeah, you get the easiest quad of your life. Like, I think Adam's just not that good of a character against Magik. I think after his ult buffs, he is not a terrible character, but you do have to play him in triple support. But especially into Magik, he's just not that good at all. Hulk is kind of a skill check, honestly. Hulk is not a bad character, not a great character. He's good. He's all right. I don't really have a problem with him. You put demons on him, you don't want to. He's a skill check, yeah. Spider-Man also probably won't be messing with you that bad, but it's really hard to peel for healers with Spider-Man just because of how slippery he is. He gets away constantly. So he's probably the only like dive character that I would put in like not a skill check, just because he's kind of not the best. He's just really hard to kill as Magik because a lot of your attacks are very slow. Star-Lord's going to be another skill check. He gets iframes from some of his stuff, which makes him kind of annoying to do combos on, but that's kind of about it. Hawkeye is not a good character in any means whatsoever, but I've gone up against the same Hawkeye in my ranked games like 17 times, and he saves his ult for mine, so I finally think I have a better ult, and it's I never miss, and he just DPS's me down from shooting my after image or whatever. It's the worst thing ever. I don't like Hawkeye because of how easy he can counter ult me. Maybe this is bias. If you do this, you know who you are. You're that person. You're the reason Hawkeye is here. You suck. Iron Fist. Iron Fist. He doesn't really mess with me that often, but I don't like his parry, because every time I go to combo Iron Fist, he parries the entire move and I do nothing. Iron Fist is kind of annoying, so I'm gonna leave him there. Cloak and Dagger is really easy. Her only escape is her fade away, and that lasts like half a second. It's not that good at all. Her bubble actually is very good, because unless you have your dash up in your ult, Dagger can just sit in the bubble. No matter what you do other than your dash, Dagger will just infinitely heal, and you will not be able to get any damage on her in your ult. In your ultimate, you cannot DPS through the bubble. But in literally any other time, especially because she's not going to be bubbling herself the entire time, I think this is a really easy character to go up against. So it could be annoying, could be skill check. I don't think she's that bad. She might even be free elo. Cloak and Dagger, I don't think it's that good. Well, because you can counter her ult with your own and take her out, I think Cloak and Dagger is an easy matchup. Honestly, I don't think she's that bad at all. Phoenix has the same problem Moon Knight does. with being able to hit multiple people, I just think Phoenix isn't as bad of a contender about it, so I don't think she's as annoying. Yeah, but if you're sitting there brawling with the tanks, Phoenix is going to do a lot of damage to you, and if she headshots you once, and your healers aren't paying attention, you're basically dead. Or, you know, if you're running a Jeff, you're basically dead. So she's pretty annoying. Storm can be annoying, but the fact that Storm has to stay so low to buff her team, I think you can just like jump up there and kill her real quick. I don't think Storm's that bad at all. I know people freak out about the Jeff NATO a lot, but I think in anything other than overtime, it's not good at all and not worth running. So I'm not really worried about that either, especially because you could portal through it. I don't think Storm's that bad. Groot I think is a very good matchup because you just place demons on the walls and the walls disappear very easily. He doesn't really give himself a lot of shield except for that wall, which you should be breaking instantly, so you could just be constantly raking damage into him. I think Groot's a pretty easy matchup. If you're playing against a really good Groot player, he might wall you off, but you should be able to just dash over it or portal around it. It's not that bad, I don't think. Squirrel Girl is an annoying character for the same reason of Moon Knight and other things, but the problem is that Squirrel Girl's just not that good. Squirrel Girl would be really bad, but she's just a horrid character. On the off chance you get hit with the squirrels that like tie you down and are super annoying because you just can't do anything for a few seconds, then you're dead. You die there on Magik. If you're no matter where you are, you die. But other than that, she's actually not that bad. Scarlet Witch would be a skill check, but she's absolutely horrid and probably deserves to be in one of these tiers up here. I don't know. The auto tracking can be annoying, but she really just doesn't do that much damage. I don't like that she can fade out of my combos, so she's going in not a problem instead of free elo. But normally, it's pretty bad. Hela, her stun, the ball, shuts down like any push you have. It's really annoying. Her stun is basically like a mini freeze, and she can. A good Hela player is gonna hit you with the stun and then immediately lock onto your head and kill you. There's a Hela one-shot combo. It's really annoying. Hela's going in pretty annoying. I don't like her new team up. I hate it. I despise it. Doctor Strange, another shield tank. His ult is easy to portal through. If you're frontlining and brawling, then his little like dark energy blast around him can be pretty annoying. But other than that, I don't have any problem with him. Thing is, if it's a good thing, you probably gotta swap. You can't do anything about this guy. You gotta dive, you gotta do something. This guy sucks. Yeah, this guy sucks. Namor is the same way, especially because he teams up with my arch nemesis. I don't like the new team up, but it's better than the Hulk one. The Gamma Squid was the worst thing ever. I don't know how long that they were planning on keeping that in the game, but it was too long. They should have had that out forever ago. The Gamma Squid was horrid. I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad it's never coming back. I hope they don't bring team-ups back. The squids in general, no, if you're running a dry Namor, like no team-up, nothing, he's not that bad. He never has been. No, I don't think Namor is worth running without a team-up. But with the team-up, he really sucks. You should swap. Penny Parker is a common one that people say you should swap against. And people say she's a hard counter. She's really not. And the only thing you have to have for Penny to make her even somewhat of a not bad character at all is competent teammates. If they shoot the nest, Penny Parker will not affect you at all. She is an absolutely horrible character. Like, just bottom of the barrel. She's down there with Widow. The reason she has the highest win rate in the game is because people see this big fat glowing nest on the ground and are like, there's probably nothing in there. Like, I don't get it. Just shoot the nest. It's not that hard. The problem is that on Magik, you can't shoot the nest because you will die. That's the only reason she's not super far up here. is because there's nothing you yourself can do about it. But if you have good teammates, she's up here with Jeff. She does nothing. Wolverine is honestly free elo. I've learned that I play with a Hulk player a lot, and I've learned that if you dash onto the Wolverine as he grabs one of your tanks, it takes the Wolverine off. It cancels it. That's a little tip you can use or something. If one of your tanks gets grabbed by Wolverine, you dash into the Wolverine and it'll uppercut him off of it. And you got nothing to worry about there. Wolverine is super easy to counter, because that's his one thing that's really annoying. That's about it. Venom's not bad either. I see a lot of Venom bans freaking out about his like reduced healing from his ult, but it's only 30%. Like, Venom hits like a wet sponge. You can still patty cake through that. Venom's not that bad at all. He dies fairly easily if everyone focuses on him. Your uppercut, if you time it correctly, can cancel his swing away and get the free kill for your team. So, you know, you just place demons on him, he's not that bad. Black Widow is free elo. It's just such a bad character. And there's not much they can do about it, because if they make her one shot to the head, she'll become the best character in the game, because hit scan is overpowered. But since they don't do that, she's just a horrible character. You never have to worry about Black Widow. She's free elo. Loki is, you should swap. You can't dive this guy. You do the combo, he's gonna swap with one of his clones. You do the combo again, he's gonna throw up runes. You do the combo again, he's already able to swap with one of his clones again. Like, you don't kill this guy unless you're diving with somebody else. It's really annoying. Ultron can skybox, but he'll probably die for it depending on what your team's running. The only problem with that is that you can't dive Ultron that much, because of his shield ability makes it so he gets like 75 extra health in an instant. And he can also do that for his healers. Ultron, believe it or not, actually counters dive really hard in triple support. It's really annoying. Because of his instant like bonus health thing that he puts on everyone in his drone and in his circle, he counters dive pretty hard. But other than that, Ultron doesn't really do that much. They nerfed his healing for some reason. Like, man, people are complaining about Luna Loki just being just amazing heals. We should nerf Ultron healing because of that. Like, okay. Human Torch. He's a swap. Not because he's any different from these other flyers that aren't that bad, but because he's completely different from the other flyers that aren't that bad, in the sense that he does a fuck ton of damage. This guy can skybox, and he can ult farm up there by just putting down a big barrier around your entire team, and you just can't fight there. You have to go around it, because if not, you're gonna die. Human Torch is so annoying, and I know he got nerfed, but good Torch players still are good Torch players. It's really bad. The last one that I think, Thor is a skill check, honestly. Like, Thor can be annoying. He might be pretty annoying, just because of his awakening. Thor's awakening can DPS you down really quickly. I think Thor's awakening is quite annoying, just in the fact that it does a lot of damage. In any other time, Thor doesn't really do any damage at all, but during his awakening, he will DPS you down in the front line or in the back line. And if their Thor is diving for some reason, you have to go a different way. You're not winning that 1v1. So I'm gonna say this is my definitive matchup tier list. These are the people you want to go up against. These are the people that it doesn't really matter, just get good. And these are the people that, you know, you don't really want to see. If you want to see more Magic videos, I'll have them linked at the end of this, and also a Magic guide if you want to learn how to play. So it goes into a bunch of in-depth stuff, positioning, what you should be doing, ult timings, all kinds of stuff, different combos, lots of combos that you don't see from other people. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.